Hello, my guest today is Floyd Henry. Lewis is a fellow London fella, just like me. A musician, very famous street musician actually. I mean, check out some of his videos. Some of his videos have got millions and millions of views. Bit of a one-man band and a very lovely chap. So we're going to sit down, have a little chat and chomp our way through a decent conversation. Thanks a lot. Please enjoy.
All right, Lewis. You know what I mean?
All right, Simon, how's it going?
I'm great, mate. Thanks for being here. It's a pleasure to have such a megastar as you here.
Oh, thanks for having me. Thanks for inviting me over.
That's it. Well, we've got a bit of grab here. So a lot of people are going to know you from busking. There's loads of videos of you busking. Some of them have just gone massively viral, haven't they?
Yeah.
So you're out in the UK, mainly in London, but you started to get, I've seen a few down in the South Coast now. You're down there a bit.
Yeah, I moved down to the South Coast. But a lot of my videos went viral before the vaccines.
Yeah.
So now it's really difficult to get a video viral these days.
So
everyone's got vaccinated.
That's it. That's right. So yeah, but I mean, some of your videos of they've got millions of views, haven't they? And
yeah, the mashups.
The mashups, yeah.
Like Motorhead with Biggie Smalls, Wu-Tang with Metallica. Yeah.
What do you call that one?
Wu-Talica.
Wu-Talica.
Yeah, instead of Wu-Tang, Wu-Talica.
I love it. So you're a London boy, like me.
Yeah.
And not only are you a London boy, we're both South London boys, aren't we?
South
so
London.
We're not a million miles away from each other, are we?
Yeah, Lewisham, that's where I am.
You're Lewisham, I'm down in Tulse way, down there, Brixton area.
Yeah.
So we're just really... Yeah, exactly. Hang on a minute. Have you been COVID tested this morning?
Yeah, twice.
Yeah, exactly. Look, I've got a bit of grub here. We've got a bit of sort of Arab vibe on the go. We've got some lovely lamb ribs.
Nice.
Fattoush salad. This chicken is really beautiful with the rice. This is like a chicken stew. This is a tomato sauce, right?
Nice.
It's like raw tomatoes, a little bit of chili in it. That's really hot.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's really, really spicy. And that's the sort of mint yogurt. So have half a teaspoon of that.
Okay.
And then eat all of that to soothe it out a bit. But yeah, so tell us a bit about, I mean, I know about you, but other people don't know so much about you. South London boy.
Yeah.
Been gigging for 5,000 years.
Yeah, I started playing guitar in 1988 at secondary school and was in bands going through secondary school. Went to art college, started doing a bit of art. Bit of graffiti as well. I used to tag known around.
You was a vandal, you mean?
Yeah, I was a vandal, yeah.
Basically.
Got really into that and got arrested and got in trouble, stopped doing that and then got back into the music, joined a band called Known and was in that band for 7 years. Was really into that and then the drummer met this Italian lady and they ended up moving to Italy and then I was like, oh man, what am I going to do? I haven't got a band, and I ended up just starting a one-man band because I was like, you put all this time in with a band. It's like you put all this time into a relationship, and it falls apart, and then you're like, can I go through that again? Can I put my trust in people like that?
And the answer was no.
No. So I just thought I could trust myself. I'll stay together. So there's 3 people in the one-man band: Lewis, and Floyd, and Henry.
That's it.
And that's who.
And I was going to say that actually because being in something that's so tight knit, whether it be a band or something else like that, you're dealing with people's emotions and stuff and that, which you don't really want to deal with half the time, do you? Do you know what I mean? And it's like, so you're free now.
Yeah, you kind of it frees you up, definitely on the musical level as well. Because when you're in a band, you really have to rehearse stuff. I mean, you're in the bass.
Yeah.
And you're really kind of improv, freestyle.
Yeah.
It's good when you can get like that with a bunch of people. And with the one-man band, you can do that as well. You can change tempos and just change up things without having to spend.
Do you argue with yourself ever? Do you fall out with yourself?
Or constantly falling out. We nearly split up before we got here.
Really?
They were like, what? Look, Floyd was like, I'm vegan. And Henry was like, well, I'm a pescatarian. And I'm like, I eat meat. What are we going to do?
So what happened? You usually resolved it. I hope you eat meat because
we've got
Do you know what? Listen, while we're chatting away, please dig in.
Okay.
Just dig in and maybe grab yourself some rice. I'll give you a small plate.
Nice.
Because I don't want you to eat too much. I want to give this to my kids later.
Nice. All right.
I'm on a budget, ain't I?
Got the doggy bag.
So what you do is you get the rice, and then you can put some of this on the rice, and if you want to put some of that on, you can, and sort of mix it in a bit. It's up to you. It's entirely up to you. In fact, do what you like. And then these ribs are really amazing.
Yeah, I've never seen ribs.
This is proper sort of fall off the bone stuff. Yeah, that's lovely. I've just grabbed all the meat, I think. Have a bone. Yeah, this is fabulous stuff. So yeah,
that's like modern Stone Age family grub.
It's proper Flintstones, isn't it?
That's how I used to eat meat back in the day, like a bit of T-Rex.
So have you been a vegetarian or a vegan? Have you gone through that phase?
Yeah, I've tried it, you know, I've gone through my stages of, you know, I don't really eat that much meat, but, you know, I go around to someone's house, or, you know, someone's cooked some food, like my family's cooked some, I'm not going to turn my nose up and say, hey, I don't eat meat. So how do we approach this?
You just grab it with your hands and get in and just be an animal.
Let's be an animal, yeah?
Enjoy it. So, as a fellow South London boy, I'm slightly older than you. But yeah, we were chatting just yesterday, weren't we, about some old things we used to do.
Oh, Crystal Palace back in the day.
Crystal Palace Park.
Crystal Palace Park, yeah.
That was amazing, wasn't it?
Yeah. The Adventure Playground.
And they had all those dinosaurs in there, didn't they? So for people that don't know, Crystal Palace is a place in South London where the Great Exhibition wasn't it?
Yeah, the late 1800s Great Exhibition.
Yeah. And they built a massive venue made of glass, hence the Crystal Palace, and it burned down, didn't it?
Yeah, they had all the latest technology from the time. Some people say it was from a past civilization, it was some kind of reset thing and all that kind of,
right.
But they had exhibitions all around the world. The same kind of time they had them Argentina, New York, Paris, like the Eiffel Tower was part of
That's right, that was Paris, that was built, I think that was just meant to be a temporary structure.
A lot of them were temporary structures, and they got dismantled or they mysteriously burnt down.
Well, Crystal Palace was one of those places, and it did burn down. But I don't think it didn't burn down until like the 1940s or something. I'm making that up, by the way.
Yeah, my nan would have seen it.
Yeah, it wasn't. It didn't burn down in Victorian times. It was up for a while.
Originally, it was in Hyde Park. That's where they first built it, and then they deconstructed it all and moved it up to that location in Crystal Palace.
So anyway, so for us, it just turned into a massive park. And there's a really big sports centre there, isn't there? Like
Massive
really massive
sports centre.
But I think if we had the Olympics, or if we have the Olympics there, they would have used that. It's that big, isn't it? It's like it's
proper stadium.
It's a proper thing, isn't it? So, yeah, we used to go down there as kids, and
they had the radio control car track.
They did. The ski slope.
Dry ski slope. It's not there anymore.
Nothing's there anymore. All the cuts have taken them.
The bowl.
The bowl. So the bowl was a nice venue at the bottom of a grass hill with a little lake in the front of it.
Kind of like curved round amphitheatre of grass.
Yeah. And Bob Marley played there.
Bob Marley did in the 1980s.
Yeah.
In 1980, I think that's when he played there, 1979.
So tell me, so your mum's English and your dad's Jamaican?
Yeah, man. Yes, I say.
I say. So, growing up, what did you eat? Did you eat loads of English food, or did you eat Jamaican food?
I ate a mixture, like when my mum cooked. I remember this thing my mum used to cook, just liver, peas, and rice.
Right.
And it was like, oh my God, we're eating liver. You know, back in the day, you just eat this kind of.
Did you like it, or was you?
I found that a bit of a chore to eat the liver, but you know, I ate it. I must have got plenty of iron from it. And my dad, when he cooked, he would do I used to like it when he did his Jamaican stew thing.
Yeah.
It's like a soup with dumplings in it.
Yeah.
Yam, green banana, pearl barley.
Yeah.
And they might put lamb in there. And I liked it when he did red snapper and rice and peas. That was nice. And my nan, when I used to go to my nan's on my mum's side, and I'd eat like roast on a Sunday. She'd do steak and kidney pie, and apple crumble and pies, all properly made,
Do you love that?
I loved it,
Are they good memories for you, food memories?
Yeah, because in the weekend I'd go to my nan's, my grandparents, and we'd sit there in the back room on a Sunday after having gone out for a country walk somewhere, because they're really into doing countryside walks. I got to see a lot of the countryside growing up. Then on Sunday, after my granddad's been watching Dad's Army, he'd be there.
Dad's Army, that's right.
He'd just be there around the table, eating this amazing food. You'd have the roast dinner. You'd be sitting there talking and, enjoying the dinner, and then you'd have dessert, and it was nice. Pudding, it'd be lovely. Those are great memories in the back room.
So if I was to drop you on a desert island, well, I said you can only eat 2 or 3 things.
Like what, a dessert and a main and...
Anything, any 2 or 3 things, what would it be? What would it be? Your nan's steak and kidney pie?
Yeah, it'd be a roast dinner made by my nan.
Yeah?
Yeah, with the apple pie or apple crumble.
And what do you really not like?
What do I really...
Yeah.
Here we go.
What would be like, just no thanks, mate.
Let's have a think, maybe like... I don't think I'd want to eat jellied eels all the time.
All the time or ever?
Well, I've never tried it.
You never tried jelly deals?
No, have you tried it?
Yeah, they're terrible.
Yeah?
Yeah, loads of people like it. And again, for people that don't know, jelly deals are served in London at pie and mash shops. And I'll describe them. I'll describe jelly deals. It's eels and jelly. That's it. So, I used to remember sort of being down at a pie and mash shop, and I love pie and mash. Do you eat pie and mash?
I love pie and mash with the green liquor.
Yeah, that's it.
And the sawdust on the floor.
Bit of sawdust and loads of vinegar on it.
Yeah, you got to put the vinegar.
So I love that, but I used to sort of go there when we were kids and that, and I just see like the really old people with no teeth, just completely gummy, eating jelly deals.
Yeah, I mean my granddad liked jelly deals.
Yeah.
But he came from the era of rations.
Yeah.
So I remember at the end of the Sunday dinner, he'd be eating like the fat on the lamb,
Yeah.
That's what he wanted to eat because he'd grown up eating that and seeing that.
Just not wasting anything.
Yeah, not wasting it, yeah.
I mean, the amount of food waste that goes on now, man, is shocking. I mean, we're not going to waste, you're not leaving until you eat all of this.
You're not leaving the table.
You're not leaving the bloody table, or you're going to get it for breakfast. But food waste has become such a massive problem worldwide now, isn't it?
It is, but it's a bit of a problem. And the price of food's gone up and it's being wasted still. There's enough food to feed everyone, and it not go to waste. People that can't afford food climbing over the back of certain supermarkets to the bins and
to pull it all the stuff out.
Yeah, it's all packaged. And where does it go? It gets sent off to, I don't know.
Well, do you know that it depends on in what country, but do you know the sell-by dates? It's all bullshit.
It is.
It's set by the manufacturer in a lot of places.
Yeah, to kind of protect them from some kind of...
Well, it's not like that. It's just like, if you went and bought that mixed salad, say, a box salad, stick it in the fridge, and it's like, tomorrow you look at it and you go, oh, it's out of date, you throw it.
But it's not.
But there's nothing wrong with it.
It's been refrigerated, it's perfectly
there's nothing wrong
fine.
with it. And it's so you go and buy another one. There's a lot of that on the go. It's not the same in every country, but a few countries are like that.
It's different for things like milk. That's got a certain shelf life.
Yeah.
You've got to kind of eat that. But like certain foods, you can eat them for a long time,
I mean, do you cook or can you cook?
I like to cook.
Come tell us. Impress me.
I can do a roast dinner.
Is this whole thing going to be about roast dinners?
Yeah.
Are you like a roast dinner expert?
I'm the connoisseur of roasts.
Okay. And can you make Yorkshire puddings?
Yeah, I can make Yorkshire puddings. Yeah.
You can? And so what's the classic for you? Lamb, chicken, beef?
Roast chicken.
Roast chicken.
Yeah, I could cook it if I put anything if I put my mind to it. I like to cook a chicken and for it to be really nicely well done, Don't like it to be any kind of jelly kind of. I like it like properly cooked.
Dry.
Roasted. Yeah, a bit dry, but
Overcooked.
A bit, yeah, like crispiness.
This is sounding terrible. Your chicken sounds terrible. And gravy. That's another good thing, isn't it?
Onion and mushroom gravy.
Onion and mushroom, that's not very English though, is it? An onion and mushroom gravy.
Oh, it's nice, you've got to try
No,
it.
I'm not saying it's not nice, but it's not very sort of traditional.
Put a bit of red wine in there.
Hang on a minute. Are you French?
You're a bit Parisian. No?
Yeah, a little bit. I thought you were going to tell me you have to put a bit of Marmite in. You put a bit of Marmite in, that's good.
That's one of the secret ingredients.
Or a bit of Worcester sauce.
Yeah, I'm always putting that in there, you know, it always helps out, doesn't it? Gives it a nice, like...
Oh, I'll tell you what we were talking about yesterday was Jamaican overproof rum, like Ray and Nephew rum.
Yeah.
So again, if people don't know about it, it's just super strong. It's just like really, really strong rum. Is it 70% or something stupid like that?
Foolproof, man. Foolproof material. You know it's foolproof.
It's petrol.
It's petrol.
It's basically petrol, isn't it? It's just
Run
like,
your car off that. Man.
and I've drunk it a few times over the years, and it's horrible. Like, it doesn't taste nice, and you just get drunk on it. But what's incredible is that I know people that use it for medicine. Like, if you're sick, you rub a bit on your chest, don't you?
When I got COVID and it wiped me out, that's one of the things I turned to. I was like, I need to get some Ray and Nephews to burn this, to kill it.
Did it work?
It did, it mushed it up. I saw it come out of me, out of my pores. The COVID was like,
leave me
exist here
alone.
no more.
Leave me alone. Enough of your Jamaican overproof rum.
Yeah.
You mean you just got drunk?
I just got one of the bottles that size.
Yeah.
Had a little cap here and there, but I got really wiped out from it. You know, I was like,
It's terrible stuff.
my last hope. The Ray and Nephews. I was like, come on, you gotta save me.
And Mumbai was amazing, by the way. It's half the size of London. Double the amount of people. It's more than double. It's like 22 million people. 22 million people.
Half the size of London.
Yeah.
Double the amount of people.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Busy as hell, mate.
Would you mind passing me the salad, please, sir?
You have a bit of salad, darling?
I like a bit of salad from time to time.
But yeah, incredible place. Like I said, I've never been there before, and just really, really full on everywhere. And people kept saying to me, you're going to go to India, you're going to get sick. Because, you know, like, obviously I'm out.
Going to get the Delhi belly.
Going to get the Delhi belly, but not in Delhi, in Mumbai, the Mumbai belly. So people saying to me, you're going to get sick, because they know I'm going to go and just eat loads of street food and stuff like that. I didn't get it once, I was fine. I was just
That's
eating
because you lived in Spain, isn't it?
I did live in Spain, yeah.
So you prepared. You
prepared myself.
prepared, your stomach was sorted out.
Yeah, I did live in Spain for a few years. But yeah, the food there's pretty bland, I've got to say, down in Spain. It's not the most exciting place for food.
Do you like Italian food? You've been to Italy? Do you like
Yeah, I mean, I just like food. I mean, there's not much food I don't like, really. Well, I'm not into raw meat very much. Like
when you have a steak, how do you like it cooked?
Medium well, probably. I don't want it to be a shoe, turn into an old...
I like to see about 2 to 3 millimeters of cooked meat around it, and then a bit of juice in the middle.
Yeah?
Yeah, I don't want it to be. What about sushi? Do you like sushi?
Do you know what? Do I like sushi? I think I do, but there's a lot of ponce around it, I think. Like, I've heard people say to me in London, like, you've got to try this sushi restaurant. It's the best sushi restaurant in the world. And it's like, how is it now? So it's better than every sushi restaurant in Japan, is it? And there's a lot of ponce around it, I think. But I don't mind eating it, but I'm not really sort of like sea urchins and things like that. I don't really like that sort of stuff, but...
Yeah, I went to Japan, Kyoto, and
Right.
I went to, a friend of mine got me a ticket out there, and I played some gigs out there. And he left me with this woman he was teaching Japanese to. And I ended up going around with her. She's a 60-year-old woman, and found myself in a really bizarre, surreal scenario where I was with her and her friend, and her friend took me around to her daughter's place, and it was like I was ended up in a place with like a Japanese family who'd never met me before, and I was just experiencing Japanese culture in the best way. And we ended up going out to a proper sushi restaurant. You know, it's coming around on a conveyor belt. And they loved their sushi. Some of the stuff I was like, wow, man, you know, you've got like squid. Some of it I wouldn't have been able to eat, but I did like some of the sushi.
Yeah, like
the freshness of some of the bits, you know.
Some of it's really good, but like I say, I think I don't know enough about it, to be honest. I've not really sort of studied it very much. But yeah, I do find it a little bit. It's just a bit of punch for people, isn't it? Oh, sushi. It's like.
It's not a food that I'd eat if I was starving and I needed to fill up. You know, I needed something to hit the spot.
Well, you'd have a roast dinner then, wouldn't you?
Yeah, because if I ate lots of sushi, I think it could make me a bit. My stomach's not used to it.
It's a bit like jelly deals, isn't it? Do you remember like we used to have the caravans, like an old caravan selling like cockles and
cockles and winkles and stuff like that. I used to hang out with this guy called Zeph when I used to do graffiti, and we used to go out and do graffiti. We used to have to go off to like places in the sticks out in the countryside. He'd go like take me on these missions to go and nick the spray paint. So and he was banned from all these places.
You were nicking the spray paint?
Yeah, you go in there and rack it, you know.
Okay.
And he'd be like, are you hungry? Are you hungry, Lewis? I'd be like, yeah. And he'd go off into a supermarket and nick some cockles and come out with some cockles. He'd be like, I'm like, what's that?
We're going to nick something that we quite like.
They're munching cockles. I was like, oh my God, is that going to hit the spot for you? He's like, he's Scottish. Yeah.
Maybe you just love cockles.
What about battered Mars bars?
Now, actually, I had one of them recently.
Yeah.
For the first time. Terrible idea.
You don't like them?
It's a terrible idea. I mean, I didn't like it, to be honest, now.
On the coast, they've got like battered Mars bars, battered pineapple, battered banana.
Battered banana might sounds alright. Have you had like...
Battered plantain would be nice.
Yeah.
The battered banana, it wasn't sweet enough for me. But I could imagine a decent plantain battered up nicely would be.
But have you had one of those fried banana Mars bar things?
Yeah.
Do you love it?
It's like, you can eat it would become sickly if you eat the whole thing, you'd be
Well, it's a bit of a sort of novelty thing.
Yeah, maybe just a bite, a couple of bites. But my son's really into them.
Really?
Yeah, he loves them. He's always said, Dad, can I have a couple of quid, please? What for? I need to get a battered Mars bar. And then I might go with him sometimes and he'd get it and he's like really possessive about it. He's like, can I have a bit? He's like, no. He's just
Oh, really?
He won't let me have none. Yeah.
But I just like I say, I've obviously heard about them for years. So you can get like deep fried everything now. You can be like a Milky Way or something, or
yeah, you can just go into the shop next door, get whatever you want, and then batter it for you. This fish and chip shop will batter anything you bring in.
It's a Scottish thing, isn't it? But it's all over the UK now, isn't it? Is it like, doesn't everyone do it?
Certain places. I don't think it, but anyone with a deep fryer can.
That's everyone in the UK, isn't it?
Everyone, yeah.
So, tell me about living on the coast now. Are you eating good fish and chips down there? Yeah?
Yeah, there's some great fish and chip shops. One of the best fish and chip shops I've ever been to is in Dungeness.
Okay.
A great place called The Pirate. They do this beard battered kind of thing, and it's all kind of coming up in like...
Okay, it's all sort of spiky and
stalagmites, kind of, the way it comes in, like really crispy, really fresh. Yeah. But sometimes you can be down on the coast and not get a good fish and chips.
Yeah.
You know? But it's all pricey. It's quite pricey to get a fish and chips. No, you know.
I don't know what it costs now. I'd imagine it's at least 2 shillings.
Yeah, twopence and a halfpenny. It's gone up. You know.
What's it cost now? Is it like 10 quid or something?
9 quid, 10 quid. If you're going to a restaurant, 14, 15 pounds. Quite expensive.
Why do that when you can go into a supermarket and nick cockles?
I know. What's the point?
Yeah.
Well, like olives wrapped with anchovies.
Oh, see, now I like that.
Do you like that?
I like that. I love anchovies and I love olives. So
I like them with the oil in them in there as well. Fresh anchovies.
See, that was one of the good things from Spain. Was the what do they call it? I can't remember what they call them now. They're anchovies basically, but they call them something else.
I like white bait.
It's kind of the same stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's all kind of just little tiny small fish. Boquerones is what they call them down in Spain. They're in like, oil. Because when I lived there, I lived right down the south coast near Gibraltar.
Nice.
And the town where Gibraltar is, the town right next to it, the Spanish side, is called La Linea, which means the line. And I used to go down there, and you could buy the sort of dried fish. They just have them sort of like on washing lines, thousands of them. I remember going down there, sort of getting a few of them, and you can get them in the oil, which is really nice. They're really lovely.
Because in Hastings they've got the old fish smoking
that's right.
things, the really tall black kind of buildings.
Do they still use them? I thought that was just like for tourists to look at.
I don't know. I think they might still use them. There's certain places.
Smokehouses. They're like proper. They're like
they're always painted black as well.
Yeah.
I think they might still use them, but some of them are there as like museum kind. You can go in them and learn about the history of them.
I'm going to get down to.
I love kippers.
Now you're talking. You're talking.
I love kippers, man. You can't beat kippers in the morning. Like my granddad loved kippers.
Poached eggs, or do you have a bit of poached eggs with them, or just?
I like
kippers?
Poached eggs. I like in the morning, like kippers, poached eggs. Nice. What else would you have with that? Just a bit of toast.
I think that's all you'd have, wouldn't you?
Yeah. I like boiled eggs and soldiers.
Do you?
Yeah.
That's right. So, do you like your soldiers to dip in?
Yeah, they got to be the right kind of size to dip them in,
But see, I'm a bit funny about eggs, right? Because I can handle yolk, but I can't handle soft white. It's like snot.
It's got to be cooked properly.
I can't handle it. The yolk I can handle a little bit runny.
Yeah.
But the white of an egg is like, whoa.
No, it's got to. You like it when it's cooked properly, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, just not when it's like not. You take it out too soon.
Yeah.
You got to put the top back on and let it
do its thing. But kippers, yeah. I mean, I think I just like sort of smoked fish quite a lot. Anything like that, I'm good. Bit of mackerel, bit of this, bit of that.
I like tuna.
Tuna? What canned tuna?
Like steak.
Tuna steaks? That's good, but it can be a bit dry, I think. It can get a bit dry, depending on...
That's almost like a beef, the way you cook it. You don't want to cook it too long. Just sear the top.
You really want to be careful there, man. I'm not joking. I mean, I know you're like a tough guy and all that, but that is quite hot, I think.
Yeah, let's have a little taste of it raw.
I saw you put a little bit on earlier, but it's... I think you're a tough guy, aren't you? That's right, isn't it?
I forgot the yogurt.
That's the Ray and nephews of...
No, it's all right.
Yeah, it's all right, yeah? You're putting quite a lot of yogurt on it now, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I played at a spice festival once.
You played at a spice festival?
It was in Shoreditch. So all these connoisseurs of spice came down and, chilies. I think they may have had a competition as well, who could eat the hottest.
Did you get involved with that?
No, I just played and watched from the side.
Watch the idiots squirm.
I remember my friend Jimmy Marlowe. We were went to try and find some party out in like Beckenham when we were like 17.
Oh yeah.
And on the way back, we were hungry and went into this kebab shop. And I remember going in, we went in there and we ordered a kebab. And my friend Jimmy liked the chili. He said, "Yo, I'll have some chili." And the guy was like, "It's very hot. It's very hot. No, don't have too much." And he was like, "Nah, don't worry about it. I'll put it
on the geezer."
Yeah, he's into Millwall and all that. And he's like, he has it. And then on the bus on the way back, he's got his head out the window, and he's like licking the wet off car windows.
Oh, dear.
He's like, it's so hot.
Yeah, that's a big thing, isn't it? Of kind of people say to me like, I said, like, "Do you like spicy food? Like, do you eat spicy food?" And they go, "Yeah, but not too spicy." And I kind of go, "I don't know what that means really, because it's like everyone's level's different, isn't it? It's kind of, it's just really sort of different."
Yeah, because you can get that spice where you can't taste the food. You're just dealing with the spice.
Yeah.
And I don't like it when it's like that.
My daughter, she's like extra chili crisps, like chips or whatever. And it's so bloody hot, man. But what it is it's just raw chili powder. Like there's no flavour to it.
Yeah.
Like some sort of chili sauces. Like I'm a big fan of Encona, Jamaican chili sauce. I love that. The Scotch bonnet one.
Classic.
Because it's really tasty. It adds something.
dare my dad to drink it. I'd be like, go on, Dad, drink it from the bottle.
No, he did.
He didn't.
No.
He'd be like that and drink it.
No, I mean that is hot, but it's hot. But it's also, like I say, it's got loads of lovely flavour to it, isn't it? But this stuff that my daughter eats, it's like I'm eating it and going, bloody hell! Like it's super hot, super. And she loves those, you know, those shit kind of noodles that you just like. Is it a cup of soup?
Oh, yeah.
Not cup of soup.
Yeah, my son's
thing.
really into those.
You just pour water in it. It's like a sort
I
of
went
ramen.
through a phase of eating that, but it's not good for you apparently.
No, they're not good for you,
They're
are they?
supposed to be good for you.
But you can get really, really spicy ones of those. And she's just into eating all that.
Yeah, it's not really. I mean, my son's coming up to 50, and I think it's good, you know, for kids to learn how to cook. I mean, if that gets them in the kitchen, you know, having a little.
What? Put the kettle on and then that's it. Pour a dry sachet of stuff.
Getting them learning.
Yeah. Did you learn to cook as an adult at a necessity, or did you learn from watching Mum on that when you were young? Or
I think I picked a lot up from, like, you know, when you start going out with girls and then they cook you something and you know, oh, that's nice. I remember my son's mum, like, I couldn't really cook before I met her. I could cook, like, you know, a few things, but and then she did a dish and then I'd be like, oh, that's nice, and then she'd show me how to cook that dish. So you pick things up from people.
do you like cooking? A lot of people don't like it. Like they really don't like
cooking.
doing it.
The thing with me is, like, I think you should be able to cook, and it's nice when you can cook up something and you've got it there and it can last you a couple of days.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just going to be eating not so good food, and you know you're not going to feel good. You're going to feel bad. So it is nice to cook when you feel it's like a homely thing, isn't it?
Well, I mean, for me, that's what the whole channel's about, really. It's like just so many people can't bloody cook. I didn't realise how many people just can't cook anything, and it's about just. For me, I really sort of encourage people to cook anything. You know, it's
not good when you hear people say they can't cook.
Yeah.
And they don't take that time to learn how to cook something.
But so many people are just ordering food out all the time.
That's the thing. It's expensive, that is. You know, you can be spending hundreds in a week. Like, to order a takeaway now for 2 people, looking at near enough £30.
Yeah.
And if you're doing that every night of the week, that's a lot of money. You could be saving that by just going to, you know, your supermarket and buying the raw ingredients.
And having a go.
Yeah. Cooking your own food.
But yeah, I'm just amazed at the amount of people that just have no clue about cooking. They haven't got a bloody clue. And it's
They should be teaching it at school. It's like...
Well, yeah, I think that when I was at school, they did...
Home economics.
Home economics.
They didn't learn how to cook. It was like, how are we going to toast some bread?
Yeah, it was...
Do some washing up.
It was a bit basic, right? It was a bit basic.
Yeah.
It was a bit like... I think we made some, like, fairy cakes or something one time or something. Or,
yeah, those were the days. You had to say, those cakes always smelt so good. It was like...
Yeah.
The build-up to eat, and they're like, you can't eat it until you leave, you go home, and it's just so painful, isn't it?
Yeah, we just used to eat them, though. Straight away. But yeah, you're right. Home economics. I've done it at school, but it was a bit crap.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It was a bit like we're going to do some sewing today, and then we spent like 2 lessons trying to.
They should be teaching. They should have allotments at schools.
See, that's it. Allotments.
You know, and you learn how to.
That was a thing. That was a thing that doesn't really exist much now, does it?
Well, there's a lot of allotments in the UK.
Yeah,
Lots of people have allotments, and that's what people's gardens were for back in the day.
I mean, again, just for people that don't know, it's like allotments in the UK were a patch of land, which is not very big. I mean, you know, it's just a small little patch that wasn't in your house. It was somewhere else. It was in the area somewhere, and you went there and you just grew your own strawberries, veg, potatoes, or whatever. And I remember that my dad had an allotment.
You've got to get on the waiting list now.
I don't remember sort of eating or receiving or seeing any of the goods from that allotment. I don't remember anything growing on it, to be honest. But I know we had one.
It's hard work. You've got to kind of know what you're doing.
But it was quite a big social thing as well, wasn't it? Because I remember, like, some people would have a little shed on their one and all that, and then it was just like blokes would go down there and.
It's like a little escape, like man cave.
Yeah, get away from it all.
But it's a good skill to be able to have your allotment patch and turn around potatoes and carrots and whatever you want to grow there in the climate of your country.
Well,
be able to bring that back, and you learn from
just growing stuff's amazing.
You learn from the other people there.
Yeah.
You know, there's a community there.
Do you find in the UK or wherever you've travelled, I suppose the UK is probably best to aim at, do you find the sense of community gone from when we were younger? We just sounded like really old people, or I sounded like a really old person.
I think I'll speak about from where I grew up in London. Where I grew up in London now, you've got a lot of people moving in, a lot of building going up, and it's like a lot of people moving out that used to live in London. So the community kind of, it's not so much there anymore. I mean, there are things, you know, like if you know, the people that can afford to live in where I grew up in Lewisham, now if you can afford to buy a house there, you know, you're doing pretty well. You know, you're middle class, you're earning a lot of money. Yeah. And the mums, they having their babies, they might go to baby things and they've got their little kind of pockets of community things. But on a street, everyone might be like strangers. Nobody's really talking to each other because they don't really know each other. But
what about things like, I mean, surely things like the youth clubs that we used to have, libraries, swimming baths,
kind of all, I mean, the swimming baths are still, there's swimming baths, you know, and I think there's Lewisham Library still there.
Yeah.
But yeah, they've shut down a lot of the cool places to go. The pubs are kind of disappearing. So that's a place where there was a lot of, you know, sense of community. People would go down there. There's still little places around, but a lot of it's being closed down or like renovated and developed into apartments. And you know, people are like, there's just so many people and not so many things to do anymore. You know, and everyone seems to be a stranger. Yeah. That's what I mean. It's
kind of like, you know, like you live in an apartment block for 25 years and you don't know anyone. You don't know any of your neighbours.
No. Yeah.
You just don't know them. Whereas when we were kids, it was you kind of knew everyone, didn't you?
You got more of a community with people, strangers on Facebook that you never met.
Yeah, that's a funny one, isn't it?
Instagram. Yeah. There's your community. Actually being out in real life.
That's
no one
amazing,
wants to talk to each other. It's
out in the road, they don't want to chat. But do you do that? Do you sit on your phone doing that for like 6 hours a day? I can imagine you doing that, just going off. Like looking at roast dinners, photographs of roast dinners. Like that.
I like to look up stuff to do with like ancient history. I'm really into stuff like megaliths, Stonehenge, ley lines, all that kind of stuff.
Star
fortifications.
Yeah.
Interesting stuff that you don't really get taught about in school. You know, you do your own research.
Yeah.
I mean, so I haven't really got much time for like, you know, just like disposable kind of throwaway stuff. You know, you go on Instagram, it's a bit boring. I mean, you just get bombarded with people at the gym. When was that a thing?
Yeah.
Going to the gym and posting about it.
Yeah.
You know, you just go to the gym, get on with it, and just make yourself look good, and that was it. You didn't flip and start bragging about it. It's my six-pack, everyone, and all these fitness people getting millions and millions of followers. What are you doing? You're just going to the gym. Go and do something.
Yeah.
You know, you get artists, people that are creating stuff. They've hardly got any followers. It's just all a bit twisted now.
It is a bit bonkers. It is all gone a bit bonkers. The whole sort of.
You know what this. It's sex sells.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
I mean, that's the thing, that the amount of sort of girls or women or whatever you want to call them, sticking their tits out and shaking their ass on Instagram.
It's thousands of strangers following you.
Yeah.
You wouldn't go down to Happy Snaps back in the 90s or the 80s, get some photos developed of yourself in a bikini and start handing them out to strangers on the street.
Exactly.
You just wouldn't do that.
But there doesn't seem to be a small amount of people doing it. It seems to be like there's millions and millions of females doing this. I suppose blokes do it as well.
I think they get to a point in life where, you know, because it's all to do with substance, you know, what your character is, and just, you know, when we were growing up, we didn't have social media, like we didn't have, like you know, it's like, they're youngsters, they don't really know, you know, and they've got this social media, they don't really know how to fit it into they don't really understand they don't really understand the time before. what it was
I
like
think
to
that they
live.
don't understand the time before, obviously, and I don't think even we're just starting to understand the dangers of all this.
Yeah, so you've got a generation of youngsters and new
Yeah.
people trying to like incorporate this into their life, and it's not healthy.
They need a good roast dinner and a slap round the ear roll, don't they?
Then to get back and get into a time machine or go back and just go, oh yeah, to experience what it was like without that.
Yeah.
It's like I feel that almost children growing up should be protected from that, experience life without that, and then integrate into your life once you've got more like, you can become more mature and you can make certain decisions. Because a lot of that, showing your body in a certain way, young girls doing that, it's not good. It's not really a good thing.
I don't think it's. I think if you just take a picture of yourself and stick it up, all right, but it's not that I'm talking about. It's sort of. I mean, it's basically just bordering porn.
That's what it is.
It's just border
That's
porn.
what it is,
they've
porn.
and they're just pushing it as far as they can legally do it.
How far is it? How extreme is it going to get? It's
Yeah.
going to get more extreme and more extreme.
And it's just dirty old geezers like me and you
Just
looking at
just
it
sit
worldwide,
there.
isn't it?
Yeah,
basically,
dirty,
it's
dirty
just
old bastards.
blokes looking at it, going,
I mean,
geez,
that's
right?
what it's just crazy.
Yeah, a bit mad.
You don't want your daughters doing that. No.
I don't mind doing it.
No way.
Anyway,
But the internet is a great thing for learning
yeah.
and discovery. But it's being used in really weird ways and twisted ways.
It is. And manipulated. But people, we are just spending huge amounts of time online looking at rubbish videos like this one, or much worse than this. It's like watching cats fall off a skateboard or something.
I was in this weird like 2 second things. Like, cause I was in the airport, parents just letting their babies sit in the thing holding this mobile phone and emitting all this kind of frequency.
Yes.
These unseen radio frequencies that could be, we don't really.
We don't really get it yet, do we?
Yeah, the manufacturers of this stuff, they don't really want people to know what kind of like having a phone on your head like this 24/7, having it all around. They don't want you to really know the health implications.
Well, maybe they don't even know yet. Maybe we don't even know that stuff yet. Right, listen, how can people get hold of you? Have you got a website, Instagram, where you're posing with your
I've got
muscles out?
Facebook, YouTube. Facebook for my gigs and stuff, and YouTube, I upload stuff on there. I'm working on an album that should be coming out later this year.
What's it called? Roast Dinners.
It's called Sunday Roasts.
Brilliant name. A brilliant name. It's great seeing you, Lewis.
Thanks for having me over.
I'll probably be seeing you in London next. I'll be in London before you.
Yeah, come over to Rye.
I'm going to come down to the south of England, and I want to eat some good fish. I want to go to that fish and chip shop you're talking about.
Yeah, the Pilot Inn. Yeah, we should go there.
I want to check that out.
Yeah, you
I'm
can
always up
just
for that.
show me around some little secret places in Rye that you.
Yeah, there's good places down there I can share.
Yeah.
We'll have a go at that. Anyway,
The other day.
keep eating, and lovely to see you, mate, as always.
Thanks.
Lovely
This is
stuff.
very tasty food.
Thank you very much indeed, sir.
You're an amazing cook.
I'm going to give you £25 now.
I did the tape, but there you go.
That was the deal, wasn't it? 25 quid. Say I'm good.